What if the reason you can't afford justice isn't a bug in the system, but its primary feature? Today, I'm going to prove that the entire modern legal industry is an engineered delay tactic designed to bleed you dry. And Elon Musk just introduced the weapon that's going to burn it to the ground. Look at this image on your screen right now. Keep that in your mind. By the end of this video, you'll realize that image isn't just a metaphor, it's a declaration of war against a trillion-dollar cartel that feeds on your confusion. If you've been watching the mainstream feed, you've seen the panic. Elon Musk is talking about flipping the court system upside down. He's proposing an AI judge, a system that can look at the raw facts of a case, contracts, evidence, precedents, and spit out a mathematically sound decision in seconds. The establishment media is melting down. They're framing this as robo-justice, a dystopian nightmare where machines decide your fate. They want you scared of the cold, unfeeling machine. But ask yourself, why are they so scared of speed? Why does the idea of a fast, clean decision terrify the people currently running the show? The official story, the veil they put over our eyes, is that the law is a sacred, delicate balance that requires years of human study and philosophical debate to navigate. They tell us that delays are unfortunate but necessary to ensure due process. Here is the smoking gun that proves that is a lie. Musk asked a very simple question that breaks their entire facade. Why does justice take years when the facts are right there? He's not wrong. The current system isn't built for justice, it's built for billing. Let's look at the data they don't want you to focus on. In the US federal court system, the median time just to get to trial in a civil case is often over 2 years. 2 years of your life on hold. Why? Are the facts changing during those 2 years? No. What's happening is a process of discovery, endless filings, motions to dismiss, motions to extend time. It's a paperwork war where the person with the deepest pockets wins by default because the other guy goes broke, waiting for a judge to read a document. Elon Musk looked at this and realized it's an information processing problem. And what are humans terrible at? Processing massive amounts of boring information quickly without bias. What is AI perfect at? Exactly that. You can already see why the people who profit from the current mess are freaking out. A fast, clean system with no games? That scares the hell out of them. They've built careers, entire dynasties, on delays and obfuscation. We see the endless filings. We see lawyers dragging things out for months over a single email chain. It looks like bureaucracy. It looks like incompetence. But when you peel back the layer, you realize it's actually strategic attrition. The art of winning, not by being right, but by ensuring the mechanism of justice is so expensive and so slow that the truth becomes irrelevant. They aren't practicing law, they are practicing financial siege warfare against the citizenry. The only people who hate Musk's idea are the ones who know their power depends on keeping everything slow and impossible. They are the gatekeepers of a language you aren't supposed to understand, legalese. Think about it. Why do legal documents need to be written in a bizarre mix of Latin and archaic English that requires a $500 an hour translator to decode? It's not for precision. AI has already proven that. When GPT-4 passed the bar exam, scoring in the top 10%, it proved something devastating to the legal establishment. The complexity of law isn't high-level reasoning. It's largely massive pattern matching and memorization. If an AI can pass the bar better than 90% of human lawyers, it means 90% of what lawyers do is redundant. Musk knows this. He knows that if you feed a trained AI the laws of a state, and then feed it 2 conflicting contracts, it can tell you who breached which clause before a human lawyer has finished their morning coffee. But listen, the AI judge and the destruction of billable hours. That's just the surface. What I'm about to show you ties this judicial disruption directly to something much bigger. It connects to the push for central bank digital currencies and the total lockdown of your financial freedom. You won't believe the connections between these 2 seemingly different worlds. First, hit the like button if you suspect the news lies to you every single day to protect these systems. Okay, let's look at the deeper mechanism of control. We need to talk about the guild, the bar associations, big law firms, the entrenched judiciary. This isn't just a profession, it's a protected class operating a closed-loop economy. For decades, they have maintained a monopoly on conflict resolution. If you have a dispute, you must go through them. You must pay their toll. Musk's proposal is dangerous because it bypasses the toll booth. It suggests that justice is a product that can be delivered efficiently, not a mystical ritual that must be performed by high priests in robes. Consider the average person involved in a simple dispute. Say, a contractor rips you off for $15,000. To get that back through the courts, it might cost you $20,000 in legal fees. The system is designed so that seeking justice is mathematically irrational for the average citizen. That is not an accident. That is a control mechanism. It ensures that only corporations and the ultra-wealthy can afford to enforce their rights. An AI judge changes the math instantly. If the cost of resolution drops from $20,000 to $20, suddenly everyone can access justice. The contractor can't rip you off anymore because they know you have an instant recourse that won't bankrupt you. This terrifies the elite because their primary weapon against you is their wallet. They can outspend you into submission. If justice becomes cheap and fast, their money loses its power in the courtroom. And oh boy, are they pushing back. You're going to hear arguments about human nuance and empathy. Empathy. When was the last time the court system showed you empathy? The system is cold and calculating right now. It's just calculated to maximize profit for the guild. A machine may not have empathy, but it also doesn't have a golf game with the opposing counsel next Tuesday. It doesn't need to bill 2,000 hours a year to make partner. It doesn't care if the defendant is a powerful politician or a nobody. It just cares about the data input. Look at the pattern, it's happening everywhere. They told you centralized corporate medicine was the only path to health, while aggressively suppressing alternative treatments and cheap generics. They told you legacy media was the only source of truth, while actively censoring independent journalists and demonizing platforms like X. And now, they tell you centralized, slow-moving human courts are the only path to justice, while demonizing fast AI as dangerous. The thread tying them all together is gatekeeping. They don't want solutions. They want to be the expensive, mandatory toll booth on the only road to the solution. Musk is building a bypass around their toll booth, and they are furious. So, what happens if they win? What happens if they manage to regulate Musk's AI justice out of existence using fear campaigns and lobbying? We enter a new dark age of legal feudalism, where the gap between those who can afford lawyers and those who cannot becomes an unbridgeable canyon. We are already seeing the effects of these broken systems in the West as people are checking out. Look at this new data from the UK's ONS regarding net migration outflow. 53% of the people leaving are aged 16 to 24, and another 46% are aged 25 to 34. Think about what that means. Almost the entire net outflow of British nationals are young, working-age people. Why are they leaving? Because the systems in the West, the housing market, the job market, and yes, the legal system, are rigged against upward mobility. They see a system where if they get into a dispute with a landlord or an employer, they will lose, not because they are wrong, but because they are poor. If we don't automate justice and make it accessible, this brain drain will accelerate. The West will become a two-tier society. The protected elite sitting atop a crumbling bureaucracy, and the serfs who can't afford to challenge them. Musk's plan isn't just about cool tech, it's a desperate attempt to save the concept of equality under the law before it's extinguished completely by the weight of its own corruption. Remember that image from the beginning? That flowchart isn't law, it's a maze designed to trap you. It's a weapon used by the few to control the many through exhaustion and bankruptcy. Elon Musk just handed humanity a sledgehammer to break down the walls of that maze. He's saying, if the facts are clear, the judgment should be instant. The establishment is screaming that this is evil machines making decisions. Don't fall for it. The real evil is a system where justice is a luxury product available only to the highest bidder. Musk isn't trying to build RoboCop. He's trying to democratize truth in a world built on profitable lies. And that is the most rebellious act of all. Stay vigilant. Watch how the media spins this over the next few months. They will try to terrify you back into the arms of the guild. Don't let them. Subscribe to the channel if you want the truths they're trying to hide. Share this video if you believe justice shouldn't come with a 6-figure price tag. Class dismissed.